studio. Well, I'm glad that you are still with us. And a very interesting discussion. I've been looking for these guys for a while. There's a number of things they're going to share with us this particular morning. But with me in studios, right next to me is Mr. Edmund. Yes? Edmund, yes. Mr. Edmund Kananura, who is the Director, Quality and Regulatory Services from Uganda Coffee Development Authority. And at the extreme end there is Mr. George William Byamkama, who is the Executive Director, Uganda Coffee Federation. You're very welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, madam.
Indeed. So, first of all, how's your morning like? It sets the mood, you know?
It's fine. The weather was a bit changed a bit, but it's okay.
Okay.
But it's warm in here.
Yeah, it's quite warm in here because of the lights. But thank you for making time with us. Interesting discussion in regards to our coffee. I know partly why we're here is that we're looking at the International Coffee Day. Yes? But before we get into that, real quick, I want people to understand, what you're representing and things like that. I'll start with you, George. Tell us about Uganda Coffee Federation.
Uganda Coffee Federation is an umbrella organization, private sector, for coffee farmers, agro-input dealers, coffee traders, coffee transporters, coffee exporters, banks, insurance companies, clearing and funding companies that support the coffee subsector, and international coffee trading houses abroad. In other words, it is the whole coffee value chain. Yes.
Interesting. And that's something we've been having a discussion on for a while in regards to the value chain. So, Mr. Edmund, tell us about Uganda Coffee Development Authority.
Uganda Coffee Development Authority is the government arm that takes care of the coffee sector. We ensure that all the coffee that we export meets the customers or consumers' requirements. We also support research through the development of new varieties, especially high-yield varieties. We also do monitor the prices, the world prices, and share the information with the coffee players, including the farmers. We also do support the farmers through giving them extension services for best practices.
Okay. So how did you come to give us your background as Uganda Coffee Development Authority?
Uganda Coffee Development Authority was established in 1991 by the Parliamentary Act, and it was following the liberalization of the coffee sector, and after that, after the liberalization, many players entered the coffee trade, and majority did not even have experience or the skills or the technology to handle the coffee to the required standards. And the Uganda Coffee Development Center was established to take care and ensure that the coffee sector operates in the correct way. Yes.
Interesting. So, George, what solution, what problem were you solving when you said, let's, not get into existence?
Uganda Coffee Federation was incorporated in 1996. The idea behind the incorporation was to bring all the value chain, all the coffee value chain actors together, so that we are organized, because united we stand. And if we have a problem, we can channel it to government, because it will be difficult for each and every farmer to reach government and say, I have this problem. But if you are represented, then you can channel your problems through the federation.
Okay, so I'm guessing you work closely together, seeing that you're all players, sector players. But I'm going to throw this at both of you, but I'll start with you, George, and come to you, Edmund. Is that the general outlook in terms of how we're performing in our coffee at the end of the day, or for the past couple of years to date?
This year, I stand to be corrected by Kanula because he's the expert in that.
Yes.
He's the one who inspects all the coffee that is exported. We exported 4.5 million bags. Is that right?
It was slightly higher.
Slightly higher.
Yes.
But around that, what was the figure?
It was 4.6
So, okay,
million bags.
elaborate.
4.6 million bags. But His Excellency, the President of Uganda, gave a directive that by the year 2025, we should export 20 million bags from 4.6 million bags. So we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So that means there is a lot of potential in coffee production, but we are not exploiting the potential. So we need to work towards that, and that's what we are doing.
Okay.
Adding to what he has said, the coffee production has moved from low levels. Some time back, we were even exporting 2.5 million bags, but now we have doubled, which is a very big achievement, considering that we suffered a coffee wilt for a very long time, and 50% of the Ugandan coffee was wiped out by the coffee wilt. Currently, we are working on the coffee roadmap, and we have started seeing signs of upward movement of coffee. Like the last month, we exported over 400 and nearly 490,000 bags in a month. That is a very good volume, indicating that the volumes are going up. That is looking at the roadmap, which is expecting 20 million bags by 2025. The work is going on. That is, the government through UCDA has distributed enough seedlings to the farmers, and soon we shall start harvesting the coffee, because most of the coffee is coming to maturity soon, and we expect the upward movement of the coffee volumes. However, for the last 1 or 2 years, we've been having a problem of what's the challenge of prices. World prices are low, but that is normally a trend, and I'm sure soon we shall also recover from that.
Okay, quite interesting. Now, George, you talked about the value chain. Yes. How do you see this really, in realization of it? That, as we're talking about value chain, we're definitely looking at value addition. Is this something we've come to realize as a country?
When we talk about the value chain, we talk about developing it so that it is more efficient. If you look at the value chain, it's working very well, especially upwards. Exporters are organized, but the farmers down there, we still have a lot of work to do. Because you can imagine, farmers are collecting only 232 kilograms from a whole acre of Robusta coffee a year. But if you look after your coffee very well, you are supposed to get 841 kilograms, close to a ton. So all those kilograms are left in the garden, and that's money. 80% of our farmers are smallholders. They don't look after their coffee very well. Maybe because they don't have the capacity, maybe they don't have money to buy the inputs, maybe to hire labor. So we need to help them pick 841 from an acre instead of 232. For Arabica, they are picking only 108 kilograms from an acre a whole year, instead of 805. That's an average for farmers who look after the coffee very well. So if we help the farmers down there, would realize the target of the coffee roadmap. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. So now let's get into some of the challenges that we've probably encountered, because you're dealing with these people directly. And you also have a goal, you have a target, and it's going to happen with all the players here doing their part. So what are some of the challenges, if I could begin with you, Edmund, that you've identified and said, well, we are trying to achieve this goal, but this is where we probably have the gaps?
Maybe the challenges, before I talk about the challenge, I'd like to maybe comment on my colleagues' production levels. The UCDA projections, or what we are trying to work on, is a production of about 3 tons per acre. And maybe I slightly disagree with the figures he gave, because presently the average production per acre is around 700 kilograms.
Okay.
But we have cases, many cases now, which are producing over 2 tons an acre. To me, I think that was maybe at the time when we had issues of wilt and what, that's when it was very little coffee produced by the farmers. Then for the challenges we are facing now, the main challenge is price. The prices have been low worldwide. Meetings are going on across the world on issues of production, of price. The market, or the price of the finished products have not gone down in the supermarkets, and there's no reason why we should be getting very little money, but that one, government and the coffee organizations are pushing hard with the buyers to see whether the market can change the trend. Another challenge we have is weather and climate change. The climate is affecting the coffee production a lot. You might have noticed that now the rain pattern has changed, and that one affects the coffee, because coffee, the production, the growing stage, it has stages. It has a flowering that needs a specific weather condition. It has a drying, so all this affects the coffee production. So we are having that challenge, and although we are encouraging farmers to start using, applying some technology like irrigation, like drip irrigation, so they can, it can help to contain the changes, especially the high temperatures which are coming up. On the other side also, our soil is depleted, but we're encouraging farmers to use fertilizers. We have started demos, and also the private sector has come in. You must have seen that a lot of fertilizers are being traded around. We only want the farmers to be careful not to use the right quality of the fertilizer, and that one will at least can be addressed by fertilizer application, the challenge of depletion. So those are the main challenges that we have. Another maybe challenge is practices. We would like to see across the value chain everybody applying good practices. At the farm, harvesting immature coffee is not allowed at all, and also drying on the ground, that affects the coffee cup and brings inconsistency, especially when you harvest mature coffee, and losses in terms of the money the farmers will be getting. So those are the challenges.
But you've dealt with the farmers.
We are dealing with that.
Okay.
Yes.
George, I'm sure you have an addition to.
No, I just want to clarify about the figures I used. Uganda Coffee Farmers Alliance hired a consultant to do a survey countrywide And those are the figures that we found.
Okay.
What is going about? Yes, it is true, you can get 3 tons per acre, but given the nature of our farmers, you can't expect them to get 3 tons per acre. But if you could improve from 232 to 841 for the start, would hit the target of the roadmap. That's what I.
So we're having a challenge in the fact that probably our farmers are not quite aware about certain things. Are you involving them?
No, the farmers who have low production are those who have aged trees.
Okay.
And there's a program now already going on, stamping. Many people are responding. In fact, when you stamp the coffee and apply fertilizers, in the time of 1 year, you start the production goes high, triples in fact.
Okay.
So we encourage farmers to stamp the old trees, and especially those who are getting low yield because of the trees are old. Some trees are 50 years.
So I'll ask you this one. So many times we've been talking about the coffee bill, the coffee bill, the coffee bill. I'm not going to let you walk out of here without giving me something about it. George, as the Uganda Coffee Federation, what's your take? What are you comfortable with? What are you not
Uganda Coffee Federation is very happy about the bill. It's a good bill because when you talk about hitting the target of 20 million bags by the year 2025, then the industry must be guided, must be regulated, and a law must be in place. And I want to thank the architects of the bill because it's good, generally good. But as private sector, there are a few clauses which we think should be maybe amended for us to be very comfortable.
What are some of those?
Yes.
You can share with us some of those.
I'll just share with you just one.
Yeah, sure.
Clause 54, Part D, says that if a farmer neglects coffee, the farmer should be either fined or arrested. We think that's too harsh, and it will discourage the roadmap.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
My comment on the bill is that the bill is aimed at strengthening the coffee sector, and I think making it operate in a better way. And the bill addresses different areas, especially those which were missing in the previous one. There were no laws at the farm level, and there were no laws at the tertiary level, at the last end. So all those which were missing are now addressed. And you find that most of the deteriorations in the coffee happens at the farm level.
Yes.
So I have a feeling that it is going to help us very, very much to streamline activities at the farm level, and our quality of the coffee will automatically improve. On top of that, it's going to help us to gather data through the illustration of all sector players and get data, the data that will guide the government and UCDA in planning, because we are missing that was a big gap that we had, because we cannot plan for so many millions of coffee farmers without knowing their needs, without knowing their numbers. So now it will be, our planning will be based on data, and on top of that, the information can be shared with the buyers for traceability. The market has come up. It needs to know. They are demanding. They want to know where did this coffee come from. So this information will help a lot in the marketing the Ugandan coffee and positioning it better on the world market.
Okay. Now there's been issues or queries in regards to the market access and who is going to be who's going to play what role, who's going to do what. Like in terms of the farmers, of course, also having some. I think I've had a conversation with someone said it's very brilliant if we had a system. And then some people are thinking, how? We've been doing this like this for a very long time. How are you going to handle these things?
This is basically, for example, UCDA plays a regulatory role. it is not going to trade coffee. The law is not getting away activities or laws of the people from them. No. It is only streamlining and making it run in a smooth way, better. So whoever is trading coffee will do that. Whoever is planning coffee will do that. But it is going to make it better.
Okay.
So there is no fear. Nobody should fear.
Nobody should fear. Okay, yes.
And sometimes the media also blows it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Just as, like the statement I've made about clause 54, part D. Then you may come a headline. UCF disagrees.
We're quite sensational these days in all reports. Yeah.
It was blown out. The media blew
Sort
out
of blew it
this
out.
thing in a negative way. But surprisingly, I interact with the farmers in the villages when I'm doing my work. They are completely positive about it because they think they might benefit more. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think speaking of all my fellow journalists out there, we need to do something about how we report our news. But very interesting. So, gentlemen, my time has run out. But when we're in the, let us say here back at home, it's the week, yeah, International Coffee Day. But you know, we celebrate it within the week. You said it's supposed to be 1st of October.
Yes. Worldwide.
Well, globally, yes. But you're going to celebrate it on Friday.
4th October.
Give us those details.
On Friday, 4th October, we shall celebrate the International Coffee Day in Uganda at ACPCU premises. ACPCU is Ankole Coffee Producers Cooperative Union, which is found in Kaboe, Shema district. All the coffee stakeholders are invited. All the area politicians, the area MPs, the C5, and the theme of the day will be sustainable coffee production through a cooperative model and community development. And that's why it's hosted by a cooperative union. It is composed of many cooperatives. Those cooperatives will be there. It's a very big day. Everybody's welcome.
Okay. So, Edmund, why do you think that the cooperative model would be the best model here if we're looking? Of course, there's so many farmers out there. We've talked about the cooperatives. You know, some of them resurrecting, others that have sort of survived the test of time. Why are we focusing, especially our theme, on this model?
For a long time, we have been promoting farmer group formation. And we have also noted that the production from farmers who bulk or who produce their coffee together, the quality is better and smooth. And we have it in record that coffee coming from cooperative societies or associations is always smoother and better and uniform. So we think that cooperatives have a lot to play in farmer organizations, and also they have a lot they do in terms of support. And for quality, we are sure that this will improve the quality of the coffee. Even in production, if you take some examples, some cooperatives, they are even providing seedlings, they are providing, supporting their farmers with fertilizers, extension services. So it's another way of delegating duties to the right people who can do the work, but they work together.
Okay. So, of course, a very, very smart move. And I think it's something that's been for a while now. They've really taken their time, the farmers, to appreciate this model as well.
Yes, the farmers, there are few coming up. And you know, the government is promoting farmer group formation and also cooperatives. So in a way, it encourages farmers to work together, and we appreciate what the cooperatives have done, all the associations that are working together. So all this is embedded in this.
Okay.
And at the same addition, on that day we intend to recognize some best performers in the country across the
That's
value chain.
encouraging.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite encouraging. George, why is this day important?
It is very important because coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. So, if you're involved in a coffee, it's your day. You need to celebrate coffee because it is very important.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, so gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, because our time has run out, for a final word from each of you. In regards to this day that we're going to celebrate, in regards to our performance of the coffee sector, just basically talk to the people out there so they can understand, or if they feel there's something that you left out, so they can get to know about it. This, you're going to look in this camera. I'll start with you, George, then go to Edmund. Please.
My final remarks will be inviting everybody to come to Kaboe Bushenyi at ACPCU premises for the International Coffee Day.
Okay.
My final remarks are simple, more or less the same, so I will not do the invitation, but
Yeah.
I will just say that the Uganda Coffee Development Authority recognizes the day and also would like to share that day with the whole country, even if those who are not coming at least take a cup of coffee that day, because basically it is the day that coffee worldwide is recognized, and the coffee drinkers recognize it as a beverage. So I would request all coffee consumers, even growers, that particularly take a cup of coffee.
Okay. Well, someone once told me in this country, coffee is looked at as a drink for a beverage for particular people. People don't have the culture really. People rather take tea than take coffee, unlike other countries where coffee is like a staple. But that's a discussion for another day, hopefully. But I, for one, am a coffee lover. Thank you, gentlemen. Right next to me is Edmund. Yes. Kananura, who is the Director of Quality and Regulatory Services from Uganda Coffee Development Authority. And at the extreme end there is George William Byamkama, who is Executive Director, Uganda Coffee Federation. And we've had a huge discussion. I've sort of took them away from the coffee day, but we talked about coffee, where we're standing as a country, what are some of the challenges, but also why it is important for us to celebrate, with the rest of the world, the International Coffee Day, looking at some of our achievements. I mean, clearly, we've made some improvements, right? So, all thanks to you guys, the players. I know you're dealing with the farmers quite well. So, very, very important discussion for us. And, of course, the back and forth and how the media has been talking about the coffee, and very, very important. So let me ask, do we have women play a big role as well within the coffee sector?
Yes, we have a big, women play a big role. They produce the coffee, they do work at the farms, they are the ones who take the leading role. At the same time, we have an organization for women, which is supported by UCD also. We work together with them, and they are in for production of high quality coffees. They have farmers in the Kapchorwa area, in fact across the whole country. So women are part of the coffee.
Yes, I'm sorry, I had to throw that in somehow. I didn't want it to seem like I've left anyone out. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. And I also thank you for watching us. My time has run out. Rowena Kajumba is my name, from me and the entire business team. Have yourselves a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
First 4G smartphone from Airtel is back. It's bigger, better, and comes with 5 GB free data per month for 3 months at only 200,000 Uganda shillings. Enjoy fantastic features on the phone like the Face Unlock feature, long battery life. Mwana ka volume keko. Live your life in 4G with My First 4G smartphone at only 200,000 Uganda shillings and get free